I love my God who uses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And man, have they got an ordinary person for me, but I don't know how ordinary, but it's Rahab. Now, I know what you're going to say, just what I said. You're going to use Miss Kay to play a prostitute? You know what? This lady was in the line of Jesus, and I'm going to tell you something. She was a brave, courageous lady. And you know what? I want to be brave and courageous for God like she was. Rahab risked her life to save her family.
As the Jews were settling into the Promised Land, sometimes they obeyed God and sometimes they did not. And when they did not obey God, that's whenever it led them into captivity. And that's kind of where the story of Esther begins. I think it was so cool how she really used her courage to be fearless in God. And she stood up for her people.
Another beautiful story of God's provision is found in the story of Ruth and Naomi. Naomi's family were forced out of their land because of a famine, and they went to the land of the Moabites. And while they were there, her sons married Moabite women. At some point in their lives, unfortunately, Naomi's husband died and her two sons died as well. So they were left, these three women, and what were they going to do? Naomi decided to go back to her land, and one of the daughter-in-laws decided to stay there in Moab with her family, but the other daughter-in-law, Ruth, decided to go back to a foreign land with Naomi, and she did. And that's where that famous line in the Bible where it says, "Wherever you go, I will go. Wherever you stay, I will stay." And it's a really special story in the Bible of, you know, a woman deciding to go to a foreign land and being really adopted into that family. Her inheritance was changed. Her life was changed in that moment with that decision.
This is one of my favorite stories from the Bible because it's kind of similar to my story, how I come to here with join Willie and Corey's family. They welcoming me into their home and really care for me. And
one of the things that I've noticed in having both biological children and children that we have adopted is you understand different part of God's story through that. Like when you have a biological child, you understand God's love and you get that as part of, like, from a father to a child. But then you have an adopted child and you even understand it even better because you understand how we are all adopted children. God chose every one of us, and we chose our children to become part of our family. God chose us to be part of His family. And whenever you're adopted into a family, that's it. You're there forever. That never changes. There's nothing that can separate you from that love.
The thing that sticks out to me most about the story of Esther is when Mordecai said to Esther, "For such a time as this, that you are queen." What I love about that is it was her family mentoring to her family encouraging her and pushing her and saying, "Esther, you've been giving this platform, now use it. Use it for God, use it for His glory, use it for your family and for your friends, for such a time as this."
My grandmother's words about God and the Bible in a simple language taught me to fight for my family, to fight for my marriage. And I'm telling you, I was planning on living with that man and dying with that man, you know. It was till death do us part. And I believe that because Nanny said it, and it was in the Bible, and she taught it to me, and it was just words to live by. And when she told me to fight for my marriage and my family, I did.
So I guess I adopt the culture and the family, and now I'm so excited about me I'm about to get married this year. So for my children and the inheritance and everything, and, you know, it would just live on. And it doesn't matter if you're, you know, born to this family. We all adopted to God's, you know, we're all God's children. And that's what Willie and Corey has shown me.
The unique thread of this story is that the Bible specifically says that she hung a red cord, Rahab did, to save her family out of the edge of the building. And you know what that means to us? That the red blood of Jesus saves our family, and it's the only thing that will.
Because of the blood of Jesus, we have all been adopted into God's family.
Go out, be fearless, be courageous, and live for God. Help your family, help your friends, not just yourself, because when you look and you try to do it for other people, you live a life for other people, not just yourself. I mean, imagine what this world could be like. It could be just a fearless country, a fearless nation, a fearless world, all living for God. This could be your time, for such a time as this.